Let's see. Now to start off, dive. This map is yep, there's this top area right here. Okay, so the thing about dive, from what I remember, the supports on each team die, no matter what.
Yeah,
Um,
so
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, there's like different approaches here. Essentially, in this matchup, you want to play for Nano, for Monkey. You play for Nano, and if you want play dive against dive, you normally want to like stay sticked, so it's harder for the enemy to focus one target out.
Right.
So here the plan was essentially to soft dive and send Echo Coast, so they can spam from there. So we kind
Right.
of have like two angles. Yeah, it wasn't my plan. I probably would have done something different here. Yeah. So normally the main tank kind of says what we're doing, but I wasn't. I mean, I wanted to say it, but then our Echo said what we should do because he's basically our head coach,
Mhm.
and plays DPS for us. So he made the plan here. But yeah,
Okay.
anyways, we can just watch how, you know, what happened.
Okay, so you're getting ready. Everyone's getting into position. Tracer in the bottom. Still waiting on the DPS. It kind of feels like you go in, you get followed up. The Tracer's there with you. It's just a brawl, and they win out. Um,
Yeah, so yeah, first issue here, it's we committed too hard, and that's pretty much it.
yeah, it was pretty coordinated from what I saw in the sense. So yeah, grenade thrown in, both tanks go in. Echo is still a little behind though, but the Tracer does manage to at least get in. I think. I guess it was like kind of lacking, especially for the Echo. She was far behind, but this might be able to kill one person. Let's see. So yeah, the Diva does a good play and pushes it back. I guess the dive wasn't. Uh,
Yeah, so normally you count down from 3 to 1, and then,
mhm,
you know, Winston jumps in. And normally Diva wants to start flying when I say 2,
mhm,
because she has longer travel time than Winston.
right.
And in general, the nade should fly before we even do that.
Also, big issue is that since the Diva wanted to support you because that's what she does, right? And the Tracer only comes from this angle, and your Echo is still behind, and also your Ana can't do anything. This pushed all of you onto this left side, and they just get to back up on their right. The Diva pushes in direct 1-to-1 tunnel, basically, of like power or whatever the fuck you call it. Where basically they have more people and you're all in front of them. Um,
Yeah.
I think it definitely would have gone better if the Echo was like around, because then she'd like open up the angles at least a little bit more, and like she'd be able to capitalize on like this, right? Like this is kind of technically like an open angle. However, everyone's pushed back over here, and since they just have more people, um, they just do better, I guess. A general tip, usually, like, okay, so a general tip is that if you don't know what the fuck is happening, like in a fight, right? You just pick a side and cleave towards the center, because you gotta just put something in front of you. If you have everything around you, then you just get squished, right? That's why choke points are really good, because everyone comes from one direction, and that just makes it easier, right? Like, if you could focus your attention all into one place, you do a lot more damage and you do a lot better, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you could have dived like around here-ish, because the Tracer was coming in from this side. But I think mainly having your Echo there would have been nice. But let's just see what happens now. Looking to try the same thing again. Oh, you take the high ground, at least. Oh, you fucking explode. Oh my god. Like, what happened to you? Holy shit. Tracer and Echo, that's a lot of damage, I guess. Let's see. Oh yeah, you're dead there. Wow. Yeah, I guess. Because, yeah, the Diva can't Matrix the laser, especially. So I guess if you get below half health, you're basically dead. In this instance, because yeah, I guess jumping here is it's really hard to be supported unless it's like 6 people jumping on that spot. I guess you die every time. Tracer's still alive, taking the space. Tracers are 1v1ing. I guess it really matters who wins this right now, or what happens on that flank. I think she finally has the space to move up here, and they're kind of split. I don't know. I guess you just have to pick one of them. Pick one side. Like, let's just see what happens here. So you pick that. They're 1v1ing. You're 2v3ing over here. Well, I guess Yana's watching. It's the same spot, I guess. She probably dies here. Yeah. They're still fighting over here. They're 2 DPS. They pulse spawned? Okay. The Echo ult. I think the ultimate is what. Oh wow, you guys lived. Oh, there's a lot going on. So there's 3 separate fights that happened. Your Tracer won. So that's one of them. Both of the tanks managed to survive. That's another thing. The D.Va got a mech, I guess. And your Echo ulted. I guess that did something, so let's go back a bit. Right, so they're fighting over here. She ults. You both go in. You take space. Now from this situation, I kind of assume that you might lose because, I don't know, they just shoot down on you maybe? But I guess that Echo ult was really good. Oh, and the pick from the Tracer is really good because Tracer does a lot of damage. So good that you won that. Oh, you dive up again. Yeah, and now this like illustrates what I meant earlier. Like now they're squished. Like now they're literally sandwiched between the Winston and the Tracer and a D.Va bomb, right? They're kind of fucked.
Yeah. But I think right here, Mercy should have rest Anna. So I think it's fine anyways though, so it doesn't matter. Not too sure though.
Well, let's see here. What is she doing the entire fight? She's healing people. Yeah, yeah, you guys were looking fine, I guess. I guess she could have gone for it. Maybe she would have died, but either way, I think it worked out. That little instance right here, by the way, where you like sandwich them, I think is capitalizing on the chaos. But now they have an ultimate. Oh, wow, you might lose this. Oh, you did. Oh, that was really close.
I mean, we have D.Va advantage right now because she's still out of mech.
True. We'll see.
So,
yeah. Sports are
and we have ult
back.
advantage, so although this is all like it's not planned. It's just by chance that all this stuff happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you did your last plan, and this is the fruits of your labor. Just a general thing. Attackers usually have better spawns, unless it's 2CP, of course, and other maps I can't think of. But attackers have better spawns than defense, at least for first points. I can't think of any others. Maybe not as much on this map, but yeah, definitely it's gonna be easier to dive. Okay, you go in. D.Va's a little late, but you push them all into this corridor. It's a choke point, and you're nanoed, so you have the more power in that situation. Tracers are 1v1ing again. Yeah, you fucking blew them up. That's good. Pushing up a little bit. Yeah, that was probably aggressive, especially since they're coordinated. You can't survive with just your D.Va alone. You have to be really careful. Holding this corner. You're back already. Attack spawn advantage. I think you should all be on that Winston. He gets out. Right, now it's a 6v6. Let's see here. So everyone is up here. They're all low as fuck. So let's see here. Yeah, I think you could do a lot by just jumping onto these people.
Yeah.
If you can manage to push them through this doorway, I think you're going to be in a really, really good spot. If you jump up here and you get knocked off and they're still there, then I think it'll still be pretty bad. But you can cut off 2 people like immediately with like a shield or something. So let's see. Go for it. Oh wow, you beat the shit out of them at least. I don't know what happens, but the diva stays. I think it's probably okay. I'd have to look. Let's see. Does she spot the tracer maybe? No, she just doesn't go with you.
I think it's better though, because I have Primal and
Right.
she can peel. But essentially, again, this wasn't communicated.
Right. Yeah.
It's just my chance again. So
It didn't work out though. Yeah. I didn't realize he had primal. That was actually a pretty good thing. Then that was a good play. Solo diving that. If they were like super fucking insane, then they no. I think it was impossible for them actually, because they had their Tracer and their Winston out there and shit. So yeah, it was a good play. Tracer's memeing.
doing a bit of trolling.
Okay,
I think it's still fine because we didn't know she was behind us. So, but yeah,
yeah, she's just.
we take space. She's still behind.
Oh my god, that's a really good bomb. Wait, she just doesn't do anything. What? Oh shit. Yeah, it was not that good from her. Not gonna lie. She's dead as fuck. Okay. Yeah, they might win this, but who gives? Yeah, who cares? Oh, this Echo is struggling.
Yeah, there's a bunch of random shit happening right now.
Yeah, that was pretty bad from them. Like their Tracer. Well, yeah, she obviously didn't do anything. You guys held this choke point really well, and the Tracer hit a really good pulse bomb, and then they just trickled in and did a bunch of dumb shit, I guess. I don't know, maybe there's more nuance, but I didn't realize.
So now let's watch how 2 minutes and 40 seconds go nowhere.
You're all focused on that. They used 3 ultimates. He used 1. Oh my god, you're all using your ultimates now. It's kind of a brawl. No one's focusing anything. That Winston, like, probably could have died. I'm gonna go back on all this, by the way. Okay, you dive in, you get Nano. At least they push together, but she gets fucking obliterated. You get booped away, but maybe you get Winston? No. That's all of the ultimates in the entire game, basically, and they win it out. I think because they had picks. Okay. That was a big fight. A lot happened. Like a absolute fucking metric ton of shit happened. Okay, so yeah, we were from here. Okay, Winston's still back there. Can't really push up right now. You dive in. Ana probably dies. Let's see. Yeah, she's fucking gone. You're all pushed in together here. Yeah, I guess you just go in. It's like you all used ultimates and stuff. Now you all focus Diva probably. Okay, well.
Yeah, she should have died there. What?
So switch to Winston now, right? Your Echo should be calling for Winston to die behind, maybe? But he gets out. Okay, now Tracer. Okay, now we reset. We're all here. You dive in. I don't know if you call that or not. You get knocked back, and then she gets fucking beat the shit out of her. I guess maybe there you could have jumped like a little higher up. I think you jumped too horizontally. Like you probably could have got more height on her. That might be harder for her to push you away, I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know how court, like maybe you could have done it if your dealer's with you, and
I mean,
yeah.
I call it.
You called, yeah.
Like, I know it. I call everything. In scrims
Right,
at least.
right.
So.
Okay. So you called it, but your dealer didn't follow up with you, I think. So let's see. So, okay, you're jumping. She gets distracted by the Winston, but these two come in, right? So I think your DPS heard, but she gets fucked because the Ashe spooked you away and you had your shield. Winston's diving the back. So yeah, this goes back to what I said earlier, which is usually the supports always fucking die on each side, because the thing is, like, you just abandon them. Like that's the secret meme about dive. From what I remember, is that every character on your team just goes forward except for the supports, and the supports just have to defend for themselves until hopefully one of you guys win.
Yeah.
This is the trade-off there, and I don't know if she should have peeled here. Maybe against a Winston, no. Like a Winston by himself, no, I don't think you needed to peel there. Maybe if there's like a tracer or something along with them or whatever. It just goes back to what I always say, which is support the team, and she didn't do that. You called it out. Tracer and Echo were trying to go for it, but just that one little thing, just really unfortunate. So now you have to reset. Winston doesn't die again. D.Va goes in very randomly. She loses mech. Yeah, just reset. Now let's see here. Should turn on that. Yeah. She misses bomb. You could probably kill that. Maybe. I mean, you don't have to, but yeah, okay. Just wait for a shield. Tracer's flanking. She shouldn't get anything, I think. Especially in the, yeah, she shouldn't get anything. Should be really, really hard for her. Okay, you're pushing up now. They get a really good purple. They could capitalize on that really well if they were a bit more coordinated. That Winston should die. Nice. Okay, now you walk up. You walk up. Here you go. You just keep walking. You have. She should die 100%. Oh wow. She did. Wow. That was really good from them. Holy fuck. Something should die here. I feel like it's been a really long time. Okay. Finally something dies, but let's go back here. Let's see how well you were focusing. So yeah, the Winston dies, you're at an advantage here. You're all here.
I think I should have turned on the Brig there and not the D.Va. Or at least shield her so she can't get healed or something. But I turn. I think actually I fucked up there.
I'm not sure, because it depends. I'm just looking at this right now. So your BAP is looking at the Brig, your McCree is looking at the Ana, Lucio and you and Torb is looking at the D.Va. 4 people are looking at D.Va, 2 people are looking at different people. Would it be better to focus the Brig? Yeah, I think calling out Brig here, she could die. I think your main brunt of your damage, I guess, is right here. She could probably die really, really quickly. D.Va, maybe not as fast in comparison. I'd kind of think of this as like a free kill. That's why. Like, get the free kill and then deal with the D.Va, I guess.
Yep.
But this feels really, really uncoordinated, or at least no one else is like calling shots right now. And then like really unfortunately you get slept and then fucking skill issued. The BAP tries to save you guys, and yeah, and this is the thing, right? So D.Va lives, so you all had split attention, whereas you all could have focused on one thing, killed it, and then continue your snowball. But instead, everyone had like split attention in this very niche like instance. And I guess what fixes that is just, I don't know. I don't know what happened here specifically. I don't know who was calling what, but there needed to be one call.
Yeah, it's
right.
Always main tanks who call.
Right. So whatever you were saying, like I think it could have been fine if you went for the D.Va.
I think I called D.Va, but I can't remember.
Right. And
I really don't know.
Yeah. It could have been fine. I am pretty sure she would have died pretty quickly. Especially if you're like shielding or whatever, and everyone was shooting at her, like, and you were swinging too. She can't defense Matrix's swing, so like I think maybe she would have died there, and then you could have like snowballed off of that, but no one died. So
yep.
We use ults here. know if they should have used ults there, especially if their Rhine dies. That was not that great. They use ults too, though. Okay, so this is a reset. It's already 30 seconds. Oh, it's gonna be really rough.
Yeah, the regroup is too slow. And I think we can't even touch it. Or we all just die, I think.
Yeah, like in the frenzy of trying to regroup and get there, they just get picks and stuff. You use all of your abilities to get to the point. You're literally, yeah, they just get it. Okay. Ults used. Tracer, I think Tracer is doing pretty well. Soldier or the Echo, she's used 3 ults. Damage dealt. 6 out. Yeah, your Tracer is doing pretty well. She hits a lot of good pulse bombs, so she definitely keep that up. I'd have to look at the Echo more specifically, see what she's doing. The Lucio and Brig, or the Lucio / Mercy. I can't, yeah, maybe that one time where she could have rezzed, but I can't think of anything like super obvious. I think the main issue that I've been noticing is maybe like your diva, just overall shot calling and stuff, and like sometimes you dive, like for this point specifically, like you dove here and your Echo was still like over here. Your diva usually flies in late, like you pointed out, I think. Your Tracer seems to be in position most of the time though, so okay. Let's just see what happens here.
So you play this as kind of 2 parts. Winston and Tracer is the dive part, and the rest is kind of the brawl core. And they should stick to, yeah, they work together.
Sombra, Echo, yeah, they're diving. So yeah, stick together. You two dive. She's already half health, but she'll be fine. Okay, they're looking for this dive, 100%. Oh, you probably... Oh, wow, that was a really clean... They take the high... You should be winning 100%. They should be taking this space. Okay, he does track her. You live. Okay. Okay. Well, you killed the Ana there, and I don't know if you should have, but even if you didn't, that made a lot of space. Cause like, okay, so you dove in right earlier than their dive, and that like distracted their tanks a little bit, or they could have. So yeah, you distracted their tanks. A good tip is to always be proactive. So you always like do things before they do stuff, and that yeah. So ulting before them, diving in like this before them. It's really risky though. It's like a really fine line, and it's like really hard to do. But if you can do this, right, it always throws them off. That's a good thing about it. And especially with this type of composition, like this soldier should be able to capitalize on the space you made for him. Like having their backs turned, he gets to shoot at the Mercy, and guess what happens to their Mercy? She dies, right? And that's all because you both managed to push in. Even if you never killed their Ana, their Mercy probably dies 100% of the time. And their Echo also needs to like back off. Monkey almost dies, but they're all really low. But yeah. Oh, you get Mac. That's nice. The supports are doing well. There's a Sombra around. They're still trying to pester them, but yeah, she's not doing too well because they didn't get that dive in, so she has to fight by herself. Tracer's spy checking. She should probably get back now to main. Set up a dive. And she's around. Oh, you're a little late here though, but she still gets it, right? They fuck up their dive. Should just be really good as long as you play safe. Oh, you killed us 100%. Oh, they actually get a pick. I think you're still winning though. Take the high ground. Yeah. Okay. I think at this point, if they're good, they would be noticing like a pattern, which is you dive in and the Tracer comes in from behind. So let's see if you either switch it up or they like pick it up or whatever. Always try to be aware of patterns. Oh, they actually, never mind, it probably won't happen again. Diving in alone. Tracer gets a really, really good pick. Sorry it dies though. Oh, you're in main? She fucking explodes. Supports are supporting each other. There's a really good ultimate. Okay, holy shit. So, The supports, they support each other really well. They can defend themselves. Tracer gets a really good pick, and no one deals with the soldier, as well as you being in main and nanoed. That also like held them back pretty well. Sombra is barely about to get EMP. She's not doing that well, not gonna lie. Two ultimates. Probably do the same thing you always do, except you have Primal now, so you're just gonna go fuck around with it. She went in too early, I think, the Tracer back there. But you still hold them back. You get both the supports in the corner, you juggle them probably. Sombra's coming in, but you have 3 people on you. You have your little death brawl thingy, like you talked about. They're defending each other really well. Zarya is cut off. She probably got cut off in their dive. She dies. But your Tracer probably needs to go do something. Oh, she goes in with you. What the fuck? Okay. Oh, okay. Managed to take some space. Oh wow, that's really big picks. And you have heals. Yeah, and you win this. Okay. Yeah, you did really well there juggling 3 people. You had all their attention, and the little, like, the Brig, the Ana, and the Soldier, like, managed to survive their dive as well. And their Sombra is playing like shit. she's playing like absolute dog shit. Okay, she's not doing anything. It's really good for you guys. No offense to everyone. Anyone I may have called bad. Your Zarya does die a lot though. I don't know how much she does. She does have a grab now. Okay, you're getting dive. She hits a grab.
Yeah, I think. Can you go back a bit? So a lot of stuff happened here. So essentially the thought is Zarya is coming back, right? And she should be staying with our core. But she's walking to me, right? And right here I should have dropped, like right here. And
Right.
I dropped too late and then I died, and
Then
essentially that lost us the fight.
right.
Plus the Zarya walking where I was.
Right. Because Zarya is
So
super fucking fragile, okay? Especially in this environment, she fucking melts instantly. And it's been showing this entire round. She has, let's see, 8 deaths. God, these fucking numbers are impossible to read. What? 8 deaths compared to 4, 6, 3, 5. She has the most deaths on the team, right? And I think at least half of them came from this round, I think. So yeah, it's really, she dies really quickly, which is why it's pretty important, as you said, for her to be with the team, right, with the core. So yeah, she was out of position there.
yeah, but I also
yeah,
didn't react fast
yeah,
enough.
you didn't react fast enough as well. You died. Right.
But it was like we talked about this after the scrim. It was also really unlucky because our Anna was like really close to Nano, and she fucked up something with her reload, and that's why she didn't get Nano.
Right.
It's really unfortunate, but yeah.
A lot of cascading things, I guess.
Yeah.
But overall, Zara definitely shouldn't have been there. She should understand that her character is so fucking fragile to this entire composition. If she's caught out like here, she dies, right? And you needed to be alive because you needed to save her out of position ass. Tracer was doing Tracer things. She's doing well, like the entire time, but yeah. Anyways. So now, yeah, they just fucking rule you guys probably. Oh wow. Okay, you block that, nice. Winston dies. Winston dies. Huh. Wow. That's interesting. Their Winston does not die a lot.
Yeah.
Or at least when he's 1 HP, I feel like they don't die a lot. I don't know what that means though, because like that might be hindsight or something. But oh, she doesn't push that. Okay. Anyways. Oh, you're okay. You're chilling. Okay, so they have a lot of space right now. You're all basically back. You should be calling stuff. Tracer gets caught out and you back up to there. Yeah, they're snowballing you guys right now with positioning. Because you guys don't really get like a solid footing. You don't get like solid footing, and you're kind of like spread apart. And I think I can tell you guys are trying to figure out what to do. And like I said earlier, they're proactive, right? They have the advantage on you guys because they're just rolling with their momentum right now, and they get to make decisions quicker and faster. And because of that, right, they catch out the soldier. You try to take the high ground here, but then you get distracted by them, and then they just snowball. You use all your abilities and shit. Like, they nanoed someone? What? Maybe misclick there. Wait, he actually goes in. You could die here. Oh yeah, he's fucking stupid. Like, okay. Huge pick. Oh my god, you... Oh no, you make it in. Yeah, you push in for your team, make some space. Tracer gets blown the fuck out. Okay, good ult from you. Made the space. Can you get out? Diva or Tracer does that. Zarya is pushing up. She needs to be pretty careful. Okay, very good. Ultimates. I should definitely be talking about what to do. And do you have like someone on your team who tries to ult track and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ult track is one of the supports did it, and
Right.
the Tracer did the ult plan.
Okay.
So, like what we're using.
So let's see how well you guys do. I don't know if you should use bubble there. Let's actually see how important that is. Oh, you dove in, but you
Yeah,
didn't
that
know
was
they were
really
all-
bad because I didn't know where
Right.
the supports were, so it was really bad communication. Because the plan was to use Nano instantly, and I didn't see them. So I just jumped on the Diva to do something, but...
So yeah, you didn't know where they were. That nano could have been really, really good if you did, but you didn't. So how do we adjust then? Right. So you get nano. You assume they're back here, but
yeah,
right, they weren't. Everyone gets pushed off the high ground. Soldier
Should've
gets
just
picked.
stayed where I was, so...
I mean, I feel like that's hindsight, though. Honestly, like it was just unfortunate. I think. Now I think here, you shouldn't really take the high ground again. This is like a really hard spot, right? But I don't think you have to challenge the high ground. I think firstly you need to regroup and get out of line of sight. So I think like this is like really fucking hard to do in the moment. But the thing about high ground is that they can't shoot right below them, right? They can't shoot directly below. That's impossible. So maybe what you could have done is all come together, like maybe towards this side or whatever, and just fucking pray to God, because you guys needed to come together. Especially you jumping up here, you just fucking explode, and you don't have the right tanks to like necessarily support in that. You actually do get them off the high ground, but no one like capitalizes on that. You just die, yeah, and then they just snowball and stuff. And your Zarya also, she probably should have switched. I don't really know what she's doing. Okay, now they have 2 minutes or something? Or a minute and a half. Okay. This is... Ooh, they have a lot of ultimates. That's fucked. Yeah, honestly, I don't even... This is gonna be really rough for you guys.
Yeah, by the way, scrims don't end, or like rounds don't end when they push to the point where we were. Like, it always plays through. So,
oh, okay. Okay, they used fucking a lot. I actually only used 2 things. Oh, they didn't know? They're still losing, I guess. Everyone, yeah, it's this classic brawl meme. Yeah, everyone's fucking all over the place. Yeah, they just... Again, they have the better position. already, and you guys are like trying to regroup and also like come up with something immediately, and they have soldier up here, people back here, someone up there, someone on the left. They have Diva Bomb over here, and they have ult advantage. They have high ground advantage. They have space advantage. They have fucking advantage, choke point advantage. They have a lot of advantages here. Wait, so how does it end then?
Yeah, it ends here.
So, let me think. General team memes. There's a little uncoordination, I think. I don't know the wording for that, but yeah, you be a little more coordinated, I think. That probably just comes with playing more though. The usual, like, just play more together. Yeah, like target calling, it's just sometimes just doesn't happen. Or I don't know, just some memey things happen. I specifically remember in this point where like the Winston being here, Diva not getting on mech, Brig not dying here. This first point over here, the Winston not dying sometimes. Just like really weird and vague things. Just a little discontinuous or whatever. Yeah, Zari being out of, but I think honestly, I'm gonna throw him under a bus. But your off tank is they didn't do that well.
Yeah, he's actually not playing off tank right now.
Oh, okay.
Like normally, he's actually DPS.
I see. Yeah,
I don't know why he played off tank today.
He's usually pretty uncoordinated. Like, yeah, just you noticed it. Like in your dives, he's always late. He's out of position. He was like always out of position on Zarya, and she only got like 2 grabs in this entire like section, I think. So she wasn't doing well at all. Your Tracer was carrying. Your 2 supports were fine, and your soldier was fine, I think. And yeah, I think you did fine. Right, yeah, like right here, he just doesn't die. And I mean, I don't know, she's caught up by the ult, she can't turn around. They can't like shoot him through walls, so it's just really unfortunate, but yeah. Overall, I think I am leaning towards the play more, but I think definitely you're off tank. But like you said, he doesn't really play off tank that often, so I don't even I don't even know. There you go. Have any questions or comments?
Yeah, not really. Besides one thing, like these, mistakes you talked about, like they've been present for like months, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the roster obviously changed, and the only person in here who has been playing since day one is me.
Right.
And then there's our coach who didn't play since day one, but like he, watched and spectated. So, I mean, I guess you can't say, well, we're not all like 100% like a unit, you
Integrated.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these like weird mistakes that randomly happen, will get fixed like by time, but it's not happening. I can't see it. Let's just say it like that. So that's really frustrating. So
Right.
what we talked about after the scrim today was like, what are we gonna do against that? So I'm asking you, what would you do against it besides tell them to play more? Because you can't really tell these players to play more because they're all like silver border plus, and our Zarya is max level. So what are you gonna do?
So now, because yeah, okay, I think you guys were doing actually pretty well. Like I said, the main missing link for me was the Zarya, the off tank. But let's see here. When you're hitting like a plateau, it goes back to the thing I say, which is gotta identify the problem. Yeah, make sure you have like the correct identification of the problem. So I think my first initial thoughts of what you told me, like, or what you asked me, is like what I do is I try to understand the perspectives of everyone on the team, because I think the main issue, or yeah, like the issue here is like communication, right? Yeah, I'm just like thinking of separate things, like if someone calls something, everyone just drops what they're doing and does it. It just really depends. So, from my understanding, communication is all about like the dynamics between each player and what people understand is like their job and stuff. So you just have to talk to them and understand their perspectives. And then once everyone shares their perspectives on what they're supposed to be doing and how things are supposed to be, then maybe you could maybe like tweak some things or shift some things a little bit. That's one thing. Another thing is that there are all these like weird mistakes and stuff, right? But I think it's really hard to fix those sorts of things because they're like no one makes those mistakes on purpose, right? There's always like a reason. There's reasoning behind every single decision that someone makes. So like for example, the one time where the Winston didn't die over here or something, right? Like they can't. Okay, Brig is swinging at him, but he jumps over the swinging, right? And then the soldier ults, and then everyone has to hide, and the Brig can't kill the Winston, right? Like everyone has a reason to not kill this Winston in this instance, yet it also feels like he should have died, right? So everything's like really nuanced. It's really hard to specifically that's why I feel weird just saying like, oh, you guys should have never done this. Oh, you shouldn't have done this, right? Because I understand that this just happened naturally because everyone was trying to make the best decision they could in that moment, but it just so happened to be that like this happened.
Yeah, that
Um,
makes sense.
so,
It's just weird that the frequency of being so unlucky
mhm.
in such a weird way is like so common in Overwatch. I don't
Right,
know what it is. It's really odd.
right. So like let's just play what happens here, right? So like let's see if there could have been something like more efficient here. So they're shooting like Tracer is shooting at the Winston, but then she dies, and like maybe again you weren't shot calling here, right? Like oh, maybe you should have shot called the Winston or like one tank only, right? But I feel like that's also really hard to say because they're panicking, everyone's dead, and I think they're kind of switching the point where it's like every man for themselves. You know what I mean? Like they're just trying to survive. It almost feels like maybe be more aware of that. Maybe be more precise all the time. Maybe always call targets. You
Oh
know?
yeah, normally it's like if the main tank dies, the off tank does the target calls. If the
Hmm.
off tank dies, one of the DPS does it. So,
Right.
but yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah. So maybe that fell apart there, right? And maybe they can reflect on that, and you know, maybe that thought will come up the next time they get into a situation like this, right? Just reflecting on it, trying to think about the ways to do it, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Just like really little nitpicky things like this. Just they have to be putting in the conscious work to like reflect and change. Something I'd say is I don't know what your team is like. I didn't hear your comms. It's probably in a different language. I'm assuming, so I can't even. I probably wouldn't even be able to understand it. But like just generally speaking, there should always be like a shot call of some sort. Yeah, and you agree with me. So yeah, just maybe that could have like changed this 1 in 1,000 circumstance or whatever. And another thing is that it's like everything that led up to this moment. So like we should also not forget that the Zarya was out of position. You also made a slight misplay. You dropped down here too late, right? Like those two things led to this situation ultimately, right? And maybe we can go even further back. Like, why was the Zarya coming back that late? Well, how did she die the last fight, like 3 years ago? Like stuff like that, going all the way back. Was Zarya the right pick here? Should she have been Zarya? Maybe she wasn't Zarya, then that whole thing would have never happened. But maybe a whole bunch of other shit would have happened, right? Lots of weird things, but I think definitely in this instance, the off tank was like that was like the probably the easiest thing from my understanding, like the most obvious like fix or thing you could work on. Like here you played really well, you ulted, you got both of the supports here. Another thing though is that their Sombra was dog shit. She didn't do anything, right? That also complicated things a lot to where it was easier in some circumstances and harder in others. Your Tracer was also shitting on them as well. That also made things like a lot easier. So all of these problems, the solutions are really nuanced and difficult to like really figure out. So I guess you just keep that in mind. and you just talk about it. You just talk about everything, okay? You lay it all out, okay? You lay out every single variable, every single thing that maybe could have happened, and you just try to piece it together. Um, yeah, like why did your Zarya die here? How could she have died? I thought she was always only supposed to be in the core there, right? And then that led to, you know, her being out of position again, and then, you know, just like weird stuff like that. Just lots of things.